Hi everyone, what's up? Joshua here from Alternative Brewing, and I would like us all to know how to make a delicious cappuccino. I think it was one of my first drinks I started ordering when drinking coffee. Probably had some sugary syrup in there as well, but a really well-made cappuccino can make you stop and think, gosh, how good is coffee? And it's a well-known fact, you want to get a good amount of froth on the top of a cappuccino. And with that, you're not only then drinking through that froth with every sip, but that increase in volume taken up by it makes a cappuccino quite a strong coffee. So, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into making a cappuccino. So in making the espresso today, which will form the base of our cappuccino, I'll be paying close attention to 3 variables for the espresso preparation, which are the dose, and this is the amount of coffee you place in the basket. The yield, which is the amount of brewed coffee being extracted, your espresso. And then the brew time, or the amount of time it took you to brew your espresso. And then by following a reliable espresso recipe, you will make a delicious cappuccino. Now, depending on what size cup you're using, ideally you want to have a cup that has a bowl shape to it, rather than something like a mug with straight up and down sides. And traditionally, cappuccinos are served in a 5 or a 6 ounce cup, but today I'm telling you, you can brew your cappuccinos in whatever size you want. Now, you may want to opt for just using one of the espressos, or the more concentrated double ristretto, where you stop the shot with less yield than normal, for use in cups under 6 ounces in total. And the reason for this is, if you start using double espressos in anything under a 6 ounce cup, then it just ends up being half espresso. And this takes away from the creaminess and that balance that comes with the sweetness from the milk. So with your espresso brewed out, next we're going to fill our milk jugs to slightly less than we normally would for the same amount to fill up the cup. And we're doing this because we want to make sure that we leave ample room inside this jug to add more volume to our steamed milk. As if we begin with too much milk in our jug, then we will be less inclined and it will be way more difficult to add that additional volume of the textured milk in the jug that we want for our cappuccinos. But the trick to steaming is we're still only going to add the tip of the steam wand down into the milk, not the whole wand. Hold it nice and steady and then reach up to turn the tap on. And as the milk starts to spin, the milk will rise above the steam tip. And I want you to bring the jug down lower again, so you're effectively creating more and more bubbles. And you'll hear that air being sucked in. Make sure the bubbles aren't too big though, and if they are, bring that jug up slightly again to stop this. Now, I want you to keep steaming this milk until you reach a temperature of 60 degrees Celsius. And not above. And this is super important to making cappuccinos, especially with cow's milk. Any hotter than 60 degrees and you start to caramelize the sugars that are found in milk, burning them and then losing all that sweetness you get when you're heating milk up. And this rule also applies best when using alternative milks as well. So from here, I'll just be swirling the milk in my jug just a little bit, and this is to incorporate the foam into that liquid milk below it. As it will also help when you begin pouring that into your espresso, it will all come out in one homogeneous stream. So you're holding your cup on an angle, pouring into the deepest part of the espresso, and a nice steady stream is going to allow that milk to mix into the espresso, and then have a nice foamy texture on top when it all settles. Now, if you're an Australian, or a New Zealander for that matter, you're going to be sprinkling some chocolate on top before you can even call it a cappuccino. Somehow this has become ubiquitous with cappuccinos. And we're only like 0.3% of the world's population. So if you don't want chocolate on your cappuccinos, you don't have to place it on there. For me, I'm going to be using some of these chocolate flakes. It's a bit of a twist that you can find from time to time in cafes. I kind of enjoy it most like that, but under no means should you be mixing this chocolate into the coffee, so then it kind of becomes a mocha. But what is important is that you brew a good espresso for that base, and then the froth is nice and thick and the milk isn't taken above 60 degrees Celsius. So chocolate or no chocolate, chin chin. That's how you make a cappuccino. Thanks for watching to the end of this video, and we'll see you in the next one.